So tonight is the early morning of March the 20th, 2025. And I am writing some notes this morning on like my vision board. Talking to hear myself in what I want to do, um, what needs to happen at this point, um, and kind of just set some goals for myself, um, my love life, just my life in general. So basically, in 2012, I did um, The Secret. And so The Secret is basically, it's pretty much built off of biblical principle where you pretty much write it, say it, and you think about it every day as much as you can, and you you bring it to you, pretty much in a spiritual realm. And according to The Secret, they call it the laws of attraction. So let's say if you wanted a new car, then you think about it, you go see it, you test drive it, you feel it, you get excited about it, and you start making moves towards it. So for me, this what is about. Um, I want a job. I don't want just any job. Um, and so I have to think about what I really want. How do I want that? What do I want to do? I have to see myself in a state of financial, I have to see myself in a financially stable state. I have to um, write it down. I have to speak it. I have to pray on it. And, the Bible says that if you speak it or whatever you say, you'll have. So I have to do that. And this morning is kind of ironic because this morning when I looked at Joyce Meyer, that was the plan to, that was what the message was about when I looked at Joyce Meyer this morning. It was actually on um, change your words and change your life. So I definitely want to change my words. I got on here to kind of really hear myself, really what comes out. Um, it's funny that I really know what I want for my love life, but I don't know what I want for my actual uh, job. I mean, I know what I want to do. Um, and And I guess I should just keep speaking that because, I kind of just expect sometimes that what am I going to do in the meantime until it happens? But really, it's happening every day because what I really want to do as far as my dream job is use my voice to speak uh, about, the future, what I see and how God has given me ideas to impact the world and change the trajectory of our culture, our climate, our earth in the way that it is. So I guess you might call me a humanitarian. I definitely want to continue getting my education so I can have some, uh, digits, some not digits, but some letters behind my name. I wanted some credentials. So I definitely want to continue my education. Um, what else do I want to do? I definitely feel like I need to publish something. And it's been a while. I haven't published a book since I think 2012. So I definitely want to publish a book. I have one right now that's pretty much in its last stage, and I just haven't did it yet. And I also have one that I thought about the other day, but I sometimes find myself conflicted because I say I have to be careful about what I put out and what I say because I am a Christian and I don't want to make God look bad. But I really wanted to make a book about, called The Secrets to the Kitchen and the Bedroom. And basically, it is um, recipes, erotic stories, and, a little bit of advice. So let's say, hypothetically speaking, and then you're getting like ideas. So let's say chapter one, hypothetical. Okay, so let me go back to like what I wrote because I was getting inspired about um, the ideas for each chapter. I wanted to have like 30 so you could just like have a whole month to have fun with your mate. So I did scavenger hunt. That one is really cool. So let's say scavenger hunt, let's say your meal would be shrimp scampi. So that's your dinner and a bottle of red wine and some, garlic sticks. So you're going to do your scavenger hunt first. That's going to lead to the dinner, and then that's going to lead you to your evening. So the story is scavenger hunt. So that's getting you in the mood. It's getting you all these ideas. And so basically, I'm writing a short line of what your your storyline is. And so I'm using myself and maybe a fantasy. And so I'm going about the scavenger hunt. So I'm doing the scavenger hunt. And I write the story. So you're getting a very short story, just like maybe like 1 page or so. And then so it's giving you the whole idea of how to play it out. So let's say I did scavenger hunt, did the storyline, and let's say my husband's at work and I'm not going to be there because he has to find me. And I'm going to be at the hotel making or ordering the shrimp scampi or whatever. And that's going to be there for us to have dinner. But when he gets home, that way he goes home, takes a shower. And then once he gets out of the shower, then he finds his first clue, or I text him his first clue, or I let him know early in that day, go ahead so he can start preparing so that we could be on time to have fun. So if he's supposed to get off at 5, I may say, um, if you can get off early, that would be great tonight. If not, I really need you to be home as soon as possible. So, he gets home, go home, please take a shower. And I left a note for you on the bathroom sink. So he's not knowing what to expect. He'll get excited. So, or you don't have to say that. You could just really just let him know to come home. But basically, the story is kind of getting into that. And then so he'll find the note on the sink, and then he'll start to follow the clues around the city until he finds you. And so you're using clues that he can't miss. So if you had a first date, come to where we had our first kiss. And so remember your first kiss, that may be your second clue. And then your third clue would be, you want to make sure he can find you and won't get lost because this is going to save your time, mess up your time. So By the time he finds you, the girl or me or whoever, she'll be, he'll walk in, that he will already give him a key so she don't have to open the door. So that's the whole thing. And that gives her the, the ability to be in position to be naked or have on, a nice crotchless lingerie outfit, and she could be on the bed. The whole idea is to have a different look. So this is a good time to play with role play, wigs, and that sort of thing, so that when he comes in to find her, he's playing detective and she is, who he's looking for. And so they can have sex, and then the shrimp scampi is the dinner. And then you want to have some type of flavorful dessert. So you can do a lot with apples and oranges. So, I'm sorry, bananas and oranges. So you can do a lot with that. So that is, so you'll get the storyline, you'll get the idea, you'll get the meal, and I'm showing you how to cook it or where to order it from or something like that, making it sexy. You're getting the wine, and then what you're getting is you're getting the end. You're getting that advice. So at the end, you may get how did it's giving you notes. Like a little journal. How did he feel? What did he look like? Was he passionate? Was he surprised? What did you get out of this? And so then you're getting like a little sexy quote, keep it fun, keep it spicy, and then you write your date and your time. And then you kind of just, not date and time, but you kind of just like write your date and what you did it. And then basically what you're doing is you're creating not only a book of memories, because you're journaling too, but you're creating memories for you and your spouse to look back on and say, this day, oh, I remember. Because sometimes in a marriage or a relationship, you can forget what your spouse really like, and forget that, oh, they did like this when I did that. Oh, I forgot. So this is kind of keeping the woman in tune with what's going on. And then, she can share the book with the guy and saying they can write in it together. And so he could get excited because then he'll be saying, okay, what's going to happen on day two? And they can, or she could keep it a secret. So when they get to day two or date two, you have 30 dates, and so you get to day two. So you did is for the kitchen and the bedroom because you're cooking or having meals, and then you're having really hot nights. So I think the second one was that I did, I mean, they don't have to be in order, but the second one was Master Slave. That's my favorite. And that's when someone will be the master. Some men like to be dominated. So it's not just has to be the man. Me personally, I want the man to be the master and I want to be the slave. So if you can go all out, it's so many ways that you could get dressed for that. You could be in I really want to do the whole corset and the little dress, and I want it to be tore so he can, see my sexy underwear or none. And then, have my boobs sitting up really well, and then the bonnet, and your hair got to be really sexy. And this is where you want to have like the smudged lipstick because she's been working, and, just bare, just really, you can really do a lot. Or you could just do the maid outfit with a short dress, or you could just do a cleaning outfit. It's so many things you could do with the master slave idea. But basically, you're doing the master slave, and if you do master slave, then you have to do whoever is the master or whoever is the dominant in the relationship. Then whatever their meal choice is, it's what's for dinner. So if I was doing master slave and I want my man to be the master, then he would, whatever his meal choice is. So if he liked, Caesar salads, is his favorite, then that's what we're having. That's what's on the menu for tonight because he's the master, so he gets whatever he wants. So, and then you have really, 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 you know, sexy lingerie, and then you role play. And so that will have a little storyline to go to it. And then you want to have a sexy name. You know, I play about this all the time, and it's really not funny because I don't want to put, I don't want to make light of that sensitive time in our culture. But the only reason that I do that is because of the situation that I'm in, and it was just my way of healing and dealing with it that I felt this way. And so I just joke to cope. I laugh. And so but I don't really want to get too far into that because I don't want to offend anybody. But basically, the slave and master. Also wanted my own sex line, and which is again, this is like something I felt so. I didn't know whether I felt conflicted or if I felt that God would be okay. But because that line went all the way into, I actually felt that I had the idea of how to fix ED, erectile dysfunction. And so to give men stronger, harder, bigger penises. So I was thinking about that. I was thinking about my own sex line. And then my own lingerie line called Slave, because I actually was thinking about it a while ago in California. I was like, I think I have an idea for a wonderful sex machine. And, you know, because this would be, you know, you could do so much with artificial intelligence. And so I was thinking about that because I'm single. And so I was thinking about that. And so basically, that kind of goes into my master slave kind of thing. So it's just a lot that I want to play with that. So basically, the story will be there, and then you will play around that, and then you could use the home environment or whatever environment. If it's going to be master slave, then you definitely want to be at home for that because that's the role. It goes with the name. So basically, you do that, and then you have a meal for that, and then you have a lesson in that, and then whatever the third one is. And so basically, I wanted to write because that's what I felt, and sex sells, and you make money from that. So I thought about that. That would be easy. It would give me something to do. I could come up with, easy 30 different, spicy nights in a relationship. And then from there, all I'm doing is writing a story, a fantasy, or creating the environment, and then putting the meal together, and then pretty much going from there. So I wanted to do that. Um, After that, I had thought about it's time to, like I said, it's time to write. So I had thought about doing that. I had thought about, I get sometimes a little discouraged trying to think of what am I going to do to make money. But I tell myself when I do think about that, don't worry, God has always provided. And one thing I know is that from this whole time since 2020, when I went homeless, God has always provided. So don't worry. Um, and so I wanted to look for a date. And so I was like, well, I don't really want to date yet because I don't want to meet somebody and not have anything to bring to the table. And then, but then again, I didn't want to feel that way either because I looked at what can God do. So don't really worry about it. Just take one day at a time and just be positive and be cute and just let it go from there. So, like I said, I wanted to write. I'm thinking of all the things that I can do that can just like maybe I'll blog and maybe put the stories on there and you can download a story and a recipe for 99 cents. That's a good idea. And so, if I blog and do that and get enough people on my page, and women will come there and get you a cute story and just pay 99 cents and then get the rest and get a recipe and, get everything else. I mean, I just thought about how cute it could be. Then like I said, the next thing was I actually thought about, because I get asked a lot to do massages. I'm not a massage therapist. Have known one before. It's not something that I'm big on, but men ask me all the time. And so I thought about doing, maybe going to get certified and maybe making that a job, and getting a cute room, and maybe that could be cute. Then I thought about um what I want my love life to look like, and then my aspirations. I don't want to talk about my children. That's a heavy subject. I just want to keep this like light light beat light. um I want to date um and a Caucasian man um this time. I don't want to date an African American, because, and I said that earlier today, and I said I should not say it like that, because I don't, it sounds like I'm going out to buy a specific car. I don't want it to sound like that, but I just think that any man that I date, if they're black, it's going to remind me of ketchup, and I'm going to compare a lot. And I don't want to do that. I don't even want that mindset. So I just know what I want. And then, I kind of feel like, I had made a love connection in California. And, I had told Ketchup about it. And so I was like, I met this white man when I came up here to California and Huntington Beach, and I kind of just want to go back there and see if my love comes to me. And then again, I was like, well, I kind of felt like I had something going on in Georgia too. So I don't know. So I kind of want to. I know that I need to let my ex-husband go, and that's not hard. I just don't really want to have sex and give myself to like anybody, and it not really mean anything. And the Atlanta is not the place to do that anyway. So I kind of want to just wait, all this time, let my, get snatched, and in that way, and just get myself together all the way around, and then just kind of like go from there. But I'm basically thinking that I did a vision board for Ketchup, and Ketchup came about 2 months after I did it, if that. I met Ketchup in January, and we were together in April, and we got married in July. So May, June, we got married in July. I met him in January at church, and then we had like a first date or so, like in April. And so when I saw him, though, I had never been interested in men at church. And when I seen him, I said, God, I want him. God, he is fine. And I've never lusted in church. And I was like, he is gorgeous. I want him. And so Easter gave him my number. And then at church one day, he walked up to me and kissed me on the cheek. And I was like, God, he is bold. And then, but all the girls liked him. So I just thought that, okay, cool. And so we went out, and then he never left. So I think this time I want to write down. I've already started writing. I want to meet someone about 50 to 60. I definitely want him older than me, or he could be the same age as me, depends on what he does. But I definitely want a man with a lot more wisdom than I have, so that I can, or we have wisdom in different ways, like Ketchup and I did. But I definitely want him to be about 50 to 60, probably about 220 to 240. I want him to be about, has to be taller than me. So maybe about 5'9". No, that's too short. About 6, maybe 6'3". And then I want him to work for the government. I do. I'm not. It won't work anywhere else. Because I've been through too much. And those are the only men in the world that understand um, my phobias and what has happened. So he'll understand. Then again, if I get with him, I won't have the phobias anymore, because no one will be bothering me. So I won't have to worry about it. I won't have to worry about phones and debit cards and going to the store and all of that. I won't have to worry about that, because I'll be with him. So I won't need it, all of this stuff. I won't have to write at night. I may still journal, may not, but I won't have to write at night. I won't have to have a storage. I think I will put my stuff somewhere just to store it, but just because the memories are too important to me. But I don't think I will need that life. And in fact, the way that I pictured this before in California was that we will have a house in Hidden Hills, um, or somewhere in Calabasas. I want a private ranch on about, I don't want too many acres, because I don't want to have to worry about too much land. So I want a private ranch, and I want a private ranch. I want a well manicured yard, so that I can see every bit of my yard at all times. Um, and I want a privacy fence, oak wood, gorgeous. But then again, I want an all white mansion, so I don't know if that will work. But I want some type of privacy fence and a wall. I don't want you to be able to see my house from the street. I want very, very, very private, and that kind of goes into bigger plans, because I want to build my own security system, because I don't believe that any security system that we use today is. I just think they're all trash. And that's because they hooked to Wi-Fi first, and that should not be your first point of access. So I just think I don't want a regular. I want to build my own, and so that's another reason why I want somebody like that, so that when I tell him what I want, I mean, I look forward to waking up in the morning and he said, "What did you dream about?" And I'm like, God, let me tell you what God said, or let me tell you what I dreamed about. I just like can't wait. And then have my green shake in the mornings. Like I want my, shake, my avocado and my lemon juice and my yogurt and my honey and my turmeric and my, maybe some soy milk, or like I cannot wait until that. And so what I imagined was that when we first met, that I would know who he is, and then obviously he would know who I am, and then we would have the talk. And so the talk is the way that I imagined it was that he would say, "You can ask me whatever you want to ask me this time, this only time. And then from here on out, it has to be as needed, if it's even needed. but we'll go into it as we won't discuss things from the past, and whatever we have and we build together is whatever we have and build together. And but we won't be talking about ketchup. We won't be talking about cell phones. I won't have to tell him I don't want to look at my phone, or I got a number. I won't have to worry about stuff like that. And that's why I want somebody that worked for the government. Nobody else. If I met somebody else normal, it won't work. It won't work because they won't understand. They'll think you're crazy. But a government man, if I say somebody's in my phone, he'll say, let me see it. Or he'll be able to know, and he'll go into the settings, and he can go online and look at my SIM card, and he can see all of this traffic moving. And if I tell somebody regular, somebody's on my phone, they're not going to know what to do with that. They're not going to know what that means. But if I tell somebody government, he's going to automatically, let me see your phone. Let me see your SIM card. Let me go. And he's going to go into settings, and he's going to go to phone, and then he's going to go online, and he's going to make a call, and and that's going to be the end of that. And I don't have to worry about that. And he'll go online and he can see it. And so, you know, and he'll know what to do to cut off what and all this, and he'll know. But if I get somebody regular, they're not going to know how to take care of me. So that won't work. So I want somebody government, like federal government, not state. It has to be federal. And so I want to, we'll have the talk. And so the talk is about my storage, about what's in it, about which he'll already know. And then he'll tell me what he doesn't want, and what, and then he'll set boundaries, and then I'll agree, and we'll just leave the past just in the past, and he'll at some point want me to put my stuff in the trash, or maybe he won't. I don't know. Maybe he won't. It just depends. But I imagine at some point I'll have to say goodbye to it or whatever. Some stuff, maybe not. I don't know. But maybe so. And so if he did, I don't know. If we got married, which we will, uh, I would say, okay, I'll do whatever you say. I don't need it anymore. I mean, I did want it for my movie, Soar. And I did want, I believe that the man that I'm going to marry, um, is going to bring my truck back to me because he knows how much I want it. And I believe that is going to be one of the first gifts that he gives me, is going to be that black Dodge Ram that I had. He's going to bring it back to me. And when he does, I'm probably going to have the ugly cry. And then I want to put together um, like a museum, because I want my life to be a movie called Soar, and survivors of agent retaliation. And I want Tyler Perry to do part of it. And I want it to be the best feel good movie of the year. And that it comes out like around Christmas. Because I want people to see all of the miracles from the movie, all of the different cures, and all of the new batteries, and the buildings, and the new cell phones, and all of the stuff that I want to build, and all of the in St. Jude. And so I want this to be like a, you know and the movie could easily be called, something else, but I want it to be called Soar, and the R turns into a bird. So I've already did the, analogy for that. And so I want him to bring the truck back to me. And then in the truck, all of the stuff is going, so that when people watch the movie, they'll say she actually has a foundation. And so when you come on the property of Core, the truck will be somewhere in there, and everybody will look at it and say, that's the truck that she was actually homeless in. And those are all of the notebooks that she wrote to get to him. And it's kind of like building our love story, because I believe that it's definitely a love story because of the way that we met. I wrote all the way, so just to give you the end of this, I wrote all the way to the White House, all the way to the White House. And so that's why my life is so intriguing. And this is so intriguing because it's a very controversial subject. Well, did she have a right to have a journal? Absolutely. She had a diary and she was writing about something that happened to her, and it just so happened to be about something that happened with law enforcement. And so the more she wrote, the more people kept looking and watching and watching and watching and watching. And she wrote all the way to the White House. And but just writing in her diary, and she was a regular black girl. And this agent fell in love with her. And when it was over and she got cleared from everything, he came for her and they got married. And so she lives a wonderful life and she survived all of this stuff. And so who better to be with than him, because um, he can listen to all of my ideas. He's already government. Um, he can pretty much tell me, help me, but not necessarily like help me like he's taking on a project. I think we'll complement each other because I want to be the support of him. He's the best of who he is, and I'm the best of who I am. And they met in this weird, bizarre. He was watching her, and because that's his job, and they fell in love. And well, the weird thing is she knew when he was watching her, and that's weird. And so this like love story, because it would go into how God anointed me, and I could understand signals, and I was hearing cell phone signals, and I knew when he was on my phone and when he wasn't. And so that led into a love story. And so I want to, you know, I want to be able to let go of this life and embrace that because I saw it before. I dreamed about it. I want the most royal wedding of all time, of all time ever in history. I will win hands down the longest veil, the longest train, um, the most expensive, like of all times. I easily want to spend $1 billion on my wedding. I've never had one before, and I feel like that's great because I want to marry my king, and I want it to be a royal affair, and every A-lister in the world will want to be there because of who I am and who he is. But then again, I don't know if he's going to be allowed to be seen. So maybe we'll have a private wedding and a private ceremony because he is who he is. So I want that. I know that I will have to make some changes, but I don't worry about that because when I get to that point in my life, all of my social media will come down. That's nothing for him to take it all offline, and that's just that. And it's like it never happened before. And so I don't worry about stuff like that, but I do want to go ahead and start positioning myself so that I don't have issues when we get married from where I am today. Like where I am today, sometimes I have phobias about sleeping. I don't want to be weird with him, and I don't feel like I would have to be. So I want to basically um, position myself for love because I feel like I deserve it. and I know that it's there. Um, do I see it all the time? Well, this situation can be traumatizing. It's a lot of different sides to go to it. So, do I feel loved all the time? No, but if I take the time and, you know, understand what's going on around me, can I know that someone's moving with me at some point? Yeah. But all the time, that's not where I am. Sometimes I can just be so caught up in that phone or the TV or something else, and it will take my mind to something else, and I'm not always just at that moment, just like I'm not always at the moment that I know God is with me. I know he will never leave me nor forsake me. I know that I'm alive. I know that I'm healthy. I know that I'm well, but that doesn't mean I always feel that way. And so it is in this situation. I may not always feel that way, but I know it's there. So back to what I want. I want him to bring the truck to me. I want to put all of my journals in every bit of whatever. I want it to be decorated. I don't ever want to wash the truck. I want it to be dusty. I want to recreate if it has been washed. I want to recreate exactly what it was when I slept in it. I want exactly like that, and I want all of my journals in there, and I want it to be like what people see and see the real miracle of my story. It's not all bad. It's really iconic. It's really legendary that I started with a pen and I just was writing because I didn't know what else to do. And so when I have this sit down with Oprah, or someone from Oprah's team, that will be one of the questions. How did this start? I just started writing about a tale of misconduct, a complaint, something that I was writing about, and I kept writing, and so I wrote end up writing for all of these years, and that writing turned into research, and that research turned into a bigger purpose for me that I could not let go of. And so that's where I am, that though the experience I went through was indeed horrific, it brought me to a purpose that I cannot A, deny, B, that I cannot turn my back away from. And I know that was God, because in 2008, when I was released from prison, I said what I'm saying today. And in 2010, I wrote all the way to the White House. I skipped all of the little people and went directly to the White House because I knew my link and my purpose was at the White House. I knew, I just saw it. And so I wrote, never thinking that, should you be doing this? It was never a question in my mind. I just knew that I saw the White House. And so here I am today, 17 years later, and I'm still positioning myself for that level of government to grant some of my, if not all, of my, wishes, and or laws, granting some of my ordinances that I want to be implemented under Grace's law. So when it comes down to that, I don't think that my situation is all bad, because I came into my purpose, and it's been all throughout my life. When I was 17, I told my mama I'm supposed to be with the government, and she said, "Girl, you're not going in the military." And I didn't want to go when they told me what you had to do to process. I said, "No, I don't think that's it. That's not. I know it's government, but I don't think that part is it." But it was it. I felt government. I felt that at 17. I just knew that I would be making laws. And then I said, okay, well, if mommy said no to that, then okay, I'm going to go into the pharmacy world. And that too is on this purpose because I want to create an entire green line of medications and that are affordable, that are green, that are organic, that can treat people for different reasons, illnesses. So I know that too is like purpose, and so all of these different things I want to do, are big. They're major. One is maybe what one person is all they do. I am blessed and gifted in 6 different areas. And God did that. It's only 6. And so to me, somebody else may say, oh, that's too many, or that sounds too busy, or you sound too complex. Not really, because God does everything. And what billionaire do you know only does one thing? Nobody. Tyler Perry has 80 jobs. Jay-Z has 90 jobs. Beyonce has 80 jobs. No one of that level does one thing. They might have one major thing, but their hands are always into so many other different things. And so my 6 areas are where God has me focused, and I'm gifted in those 6 areas with knowledge and research and everything else. For example, going green and being able to foresee the future in these 6 different areas is nothing but a gift, and it's not anything that I did. It's just how God used me in the situation that I'm in and gifted me because of what I was around, what was going on, and what happened. So it's no way that this phone could have been a source of agony in which it was, and it not turn into a blessing. And so it did. And so I started to look at it, and I told God, I hate that phone. I hate it. And so God said, okay, I will show you. I will teach you IT. I will teach you technology. I will show you. And so I woke up one morning and I just said it. I hear boots, and it was weird. And I said, stop, get off my phone, get out of my phone. And I said it, and literally I could hear the apps opening and closing. They sounded like doors opening and closing in a regular house, in a regular room. And God did that for me to be able to hear that. That is, you can't possibly hear your phone, but I could, and I was right. And that's how it started leading me on this miraculous journey. And that is the part that people would want to see in a movie. What happened? She heard it. God did it. He made her in a way in tune with those signals, and she could hear it and she could tell, and I was drawn to them. And so when I heard the signals, I would know you're on my phone because you're transmitting to me, because I can hear it. And so that part is the miracle. That part is because, all truth be told, agents watched me do that. Oh, she watched her when she gone to Walmart. They in California, they were watching, looking, waiting, and I would go into Walmart and they would say, "Watch who she." They didn't know because they're watching to see what would take them a while. They were watching. She's gonna go right to him, and I would go and just stand there and look and pick them out every time, and then come out and then watch what tag they go to, and oh, that is the tag, and yeah, he did this and he did that and this, and then he was with it, and I was putting everything together, and they would watch when she played that song. She watched how she connect everybody. They were watching. They were watching, and they thought it was brilliant that I was able to do that. Dangerous, but it's brilliant. It's often it's nothing short of nothing that they had ever seen before, and I believe God allowed that to bring me to where I am. On how this many years later, I'm still, everything about the situation is miraculous. Everything about it, nothing short of bizarre. I know that I am one of the most highly talked about people that are not on TV at this point. I know that for a fact. I know that. Um, and that's because of that ability and how God would move me around situations. And so to end up with someone that is law, I mean, what a treat. Who else better? To get up in the morning and tell my dreams to and talk to, and and but I never saw, he doesn't talk about his life with me. Um like, I think that's what I saw. I don't know if that's going to be actually true or not, but I don't know all what he does. I just know that he is very, very important, and I don't see or know or interact with his life. I just know that he has a lot going on, and a lot, and that's it. But I don't, it's not like he come home from work and be like, oh, this is what I'm doing today. Like, I know when he has to go to town. I know that, like, I know stuff like that, but I don't know, like, legits of it. And that's because of who he is. So when we get married, I know I want to be private. I know that I want to have a royal wedding. I want my train on my dress, literally, to go around the entire block from the church. So let's say if the church is on Ninth Street and the next street is 10th, I want from the entire altar all the way out, all the way down the street, and I want roses and everything, like literally like something off Coming to America. I want that. And I want us to arrive. I want him to arrive. We both gonna arrive on horses and in a horse and carriage. He will, and I will too. So he will first, obviously, and I want all white Clydesdales. And I want them to be dressed for the wedding. I want someone to actually do their feet and their hooves and make the hair really, really, like, do it really good. And I want them to obviously smell really good. I don't want him smelling like a barn when he comes in, but I want to be have the most expensive Clydesdales that we can have. And I want them to be him to come in on him to come on one, and I will too. And so I want to come on in a horse and carriage, and I want to probably. I said I wanted to dance my way down the aisle. I didn't know if I wanted to. I change with that a lot, or maybe I'll dance in on the reception, but and that might be better. So I'll walk down the aisle, and then I want to dance. So when I change out, I want to wear like a leotard, for my I don't want to wear a dress. I want to wear like pants, but like that are tailored. I want to have my outfit made. Um, so I think I want to have like that, and then a corset, and then the train. And I think I want to be in green. I don't want to have a white dress. I want to be in green. So I want hunter green, that beautiful green, and maybe um, some other type of green, and maybe another color to go with it. I don't know what would look good with green, but probably that would be the color. Definitely green. And then I want to get married. I want to, everything about the church everything has to be done. I want the ceilings draped. I want to spend so much money. um I want the entire thing redone. I don't want nothing ordinary. I want everything over the top. I want walls done, ceiling draped. I want um all of that done, and I want to at the reception, I want to build my reception. And that's so extravagant, but I want to build my reception. I don't want a reception hall or a building where somebody else has been. I want to actually build it outside. So that means I need to find somewhere with a couple of acres of some beautiful green, even land. And I want to build like an edifice outside. I want my where people sit when we get married or when they come to the reception to be in different shapes of the word love. So, and that means that it'll definitely take some planning to do that, but I want to do that. I like the seating to spell love, like all over. So LO might be on this side and VE might be on this side. But it's like when you look at it from up top, you can see that it says love. And then like I want scenic views. Um and I want scenic views um at our what you call it? At the what is it? I just said it. So you have your wedding and reception. At the reception, because I want us to get married like all over the world. So like different scenes will be flashing from like different parts of the world. Like sound cheesy, but I want like something like that. And then I want fireworks. I want helicopters in the air. I want green confetti. I want like everything like you can possibly imagine. I want it to be like a presidential motorcade when we get married. And then I want to do this for 3 days. Every day will be something different and at a different place, but celebrate our love like all over the place. So like might get married in California, and then might have a reception in New York, and then might have the honeymoon starts in maybe Florida, and then might come back over here to North Carolina, and we're just doing like the most. I don't know, but I want the absolute most. I've never got married with a wedding before, and so this will be my first time, and so I want to do like all over the top, like seriously over the top. And so um I want him to love God, and I want God to be like the center of uh our union. I want to like put the candles together, us light the candle together. I want like to do all of the I want to definitely have surgery by then on my stomach if I don't be done just lost weight on my own, but I want to be Dolly Parton shaped. I've been obsessed with Dolly Parton and her shape since I don't know. I can't remember. And it was weird that I actually just heard that on the Kardashians, but I just love it. I'm already top heavy. So I want to like be like a 6 at the bottom for my wedding and keep my 44s, 42s, or whatever they are up here at the top. And I want to be a 6. So I want to look just, yes, come here, girl. Come on, wait, cute. And so I want to have a like, I don't know. I just want to like be over the top. And my ring, I just don't know. It's just gonna be like everything. I think I want a green diamond. Maybe, maybe not. I don't know. But I think I want to do a green diamond, or maybe a hint, like a little sparkle somewhere in there, or maybe like a big diamond and then like have some green baguettes on the side or something. But I definitely want something in there because I want him, when he proposes to me, I want him to be um tying into my my greenness, because that's what brought us together. So I don't want it to be anything less or not. So I want it to be that's what brought us together. So it can't be. I mean, I'm not gonna marry him with a pen. So I want it to be what got us here is my dreams, and so my green thoughts, and so what else would this be about? And then like just to know that our life would be like a story, or whatever. And then like a real story, like nobody would believe that was a case, and they got married. And that it's weird. That girl there's a regular black person, and look at how God worked it out, and she is like happy and finally got real love and this, that, and the other. So I want to do that. And then on our honeymoon, I don't know. I think that I would be totally okay. And if we went to, I want to be like, wherever I go with him, I know I will be okay. And so if we went to uh, wherever he said we're going, I would say, okay. If he said we're going home, then I would say, let's go get naked. Let's go get naked. And that's it. But wherever we go, I want to stay for about a while. And I want to be like, we're just in the room. They have them like, I don't want nobody around. So if we go, I don't want to go to like a hotel. I think we're too big for that. I want to go to an island, and we have lots of security. I won't feel safe if not. So I don't want to be like, look outside and don't see nothing but a jungle. I don't want to do that. But I want to do like, we're somewhere, rich, and I want maybe a yacht, maybe not. And then so we might can charter a yacht and just we're not coming back until whatever. And then we just go and live every day just with each other. And we don't want to wear any clothes for a month. So cute. I just love it. We don't wear any clothes. Just be butt naked every day. We'll eat naked. We don't need any clothes. We're going on honeymoon. Y'all didn't pack. We don't need no clothes. We're not coming out. So we're going to have just food catered. People bring it to us if we eat. And then, I might cook some stuff and be fun. And then we will just like have sex and be in love every day for like the first month. No phones. Well, he might have to, but I won't. And I will just like be like, just live life. And then we will like take it from there. And then when we come back, if he say we're gonna stay in the States, we stay in the States. If he say we're not, then we're not. And then, but I think I'll tell him if he say, where do you want to live? And I say, well, I want to go to California. And he said, all right, and let's go. And so I say, okay. And so we'll find the mansion that I want, or we'll build it. And then, and while we're building it, we will do whatever we do. But I want to position myself to be able to be committed to someone, and committed to my dreams, and then I want him to say, I want to literally ask him if it's okay. Um, does he object to any of my dreams and my goals and what I feel like God has? And I know he's going to say no, because that's how we met. That's how we came into each other's lives. It came from me being in the truck and me riding and me being with him. He's not going to say no, because he's going to believe that, first of all, I watched you sleep, and I know I watched different things, and I know that, you know, God is talking to you. Maybe he didn't even believe in God, or maybe he wasn't even a Christian when he met me, or just, was just a regular guy. And then who knows, maybe watching me could have turned him on to God, and God could have, I don't know. But either way, I don't think he's going to say no. I don't think he's not going to want me to be in that way. I don't think so. I think he's going to, uh he may retire, you know, and we may just do work together, and or he may be like, I might be like Whitney Houston, and he might be like Kevin Costner on The Bodyguard, and he might just go everywhere with me and do some assignments when he want to, but he doesn't have to work anyway. He just does. So, um, he's definitely important, and so, like, won't be like taking him to my family house. I won't be doing none of that. And I don't think he even likes my family. So won't be doing that. And so, um, and I don't think we'll have issues with that either, because I will respect whatever he says and know that he has the best interest for me. And I can't wait to submit to that type of authority and love in the way that God designed it. See, God designed a man to be over a woman, but not in the position to be superior, to lord over her, but to be a protector and a provider. And when God says, and the man, the husband, watched from the gate of the city, that he watched because he was watching over her, and anything he watched at the gate, that means it's a metaphor for he watched anything that could come near the house to bother that woman, and she did everything else. And so I can't wait to submit to that type of love, that if he said this is not what I think we should do, then I know that he has said so because of wisdom, because of 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 who he is, and I know that he's making a decision for me out of love. And if I don't like it, then I just know that he is the next thing under God, and if he said it, then that's just the way it needs to be. And so I have to accept that, and I can't wait to submit to someone um, in that capacity. I look forward to it. I'm excited about it. I can't wait to something that I might want to do. And he said, "Babe, I don't think that's a good idea." I'd be like, "Why?" Like, because, you ain't looked at this side and this side of this, and that can happen. I'd be like, "Oh, come here, child." Oh, that turned me on when you can see. I can see and you can see too. I love it. So, no, I don't. I don't want to. I don't want to be. I want to submit I don't want to be ever a submissive Sally, but I want to understand. Um, I can't wait for him to be my head, my king, my covering. And so in California, I actually had started to write my vows to him already. Um, and I can't wait to say them because I can't wait to give myself to him in a way that I have never ever given myself to someone before in my life. I don't want to give him just my heart. I want to give him my core, my soul. Um, and I don't want that to sound creepy, but I want to love him for everything that he stands for. He has integrity and he's compassionate and he's brilliant and he's handsome and he's faithful and he's kind and he's gentle, but he's all of these different things. And then he has the side of him that needs to have that side of him, that if he needs to be aggressive and this, then he can, but it's not with me. And so I want to have that. I can't wait to have that life to where our biggest argument is who loves each other more. Or oh, well, I was trying to do this for you, well, I was trying to do this for you. I can't wait for us to compete in making each other happy. And he got my shake, and I got his briefcase packed, and I got his, like, I can't wait to be that. Like, I am such a wife. I'm not girlfriend material. I am a wife. Like, I love to take care of someone and, my man. And so I can't wait to, put scriptures in his briefcase and leave little sticky notes on his, iPad or, on his computer, and, maybe text him little sexy messages. And, you know, it's more to it than sex. I can't wait to engage with his mind. That to me is the biggest turn on to me. Um, to me, that is sexier than anything else that he can physically do. Just his presence, you know, that, I could be in the store and he can say, I'm coming in town and I'll meet you at the hotel. And I'll say, okay. And I can already be there in my room and I can feel him downstairs coming. That's sexy to me. That I can, oh, he's here. Oh, Jesus. Like that to me um, is sexy to me. That is like, I don't know. I'm very, very, very turned on by that. I want to put God first every day in my life and thank God for him and thank God and ask God to bless us with a very long, healthy union. But I can't wait to just really call him Lord like Sarah did in the Bible. I've never had that desire before. And it's not because I never loved my husbands, the two that I had. I adored Ketchup. I would have, I, I, I still love him as a person. I can't say that I ever wanted to get a divorce from him. I can't say that. I knew that we needed to separate because of the issues, and I knew that we needed to divorce for the sake of doing it on paper, but I didn't ever intend on divorcing him in my heart. I needed to divorce him on paper because I didn't need the association with him financially, because I knew some things were just not right. And so I didn't want the association, but with my future, no, I cannot wait to be joined with him in every sense of the word. In every sense of the word. I cannot wait. Um, that everything that I do, is God first, him second, or is, I think the way that it works is him first. And is it him first in the Bible and God second? I mean, in theoretics, of course, it's God first, but uh, as God, I look to him as he looks to the Lord for us. That's the way it works. And so I can't wait to be in that role. I think he's a little, um, I, maybe I wonder sometimes if he'll travel too much, and then I say, no, you know, I can handle it. I can handle whatever comes. So, in short, I see myself married again. I definitely see myself with the love of my life. I've dreamed about him before. I dreamed about um, us getting married. Dreamed about us making love before. I've dreamed about um, in California, actually, one day. Or was that in Georgia? I think it was California. My Bible opened to something that I had wrote about. It did, and I put it in my journal. So I had wrote about him in my journal, and that day something in my Bible was like a message, and it was on one of the times 623 or something like that. And so in reality, do I know that I'm going to marry this wonderful person? Yeah. I mean, but does that help me today? Yes and no. Because I'm human, and doesn't mean that I'm bipolar or anything like that. It means that I'm human. I still want the situation to be over. I want him to come into my life now. Um, I want him to come pick me up, and I want to go. But God knows what's best. I keep wondering, I don't have to position myself in that way of, well, do I need to go here or go that? See, that's the brilliance of being with someone like him. He's brilliant enough to know where I am, where I'll be, and and that part is the part. I thought about how I wanted him to ask to marry me. And so I think I wanted him to ask over the phone. I think he already did, to be honest with you. But I definitely, because I used to get, like, when I had the little dating app in California, I don't know if they was playing or not, but men used to always ask me, and that they used to send me rings all the time. And then at one point in California, like, they were just like, okay, she's not getting it. And so, like, I looked at my phone one day and it was the biggest ring, like, over the whole screen. Like it was nothing but a diamond ring. So, like, I think he's already done. And so they probably would be like, why is she still talking if she know? Cause it just don't, cause I feel too, honestly, since I say everything else, why not say this? Cause I feel, honestly, cause if people know that he's there, then why are they still bothering me? Oh, cause he's quiet. Oh, and then I'd be like, oh, I can't trust that, you know. But then that's me not having faith in God, and that's me not having faith in Him. And so I have to have faith in Him so that, and I have to be able to show that if He said, be quiet, then I don't like it. But if He said, shh, then I have to know that He said, shh, because I'm doing something and I have to wait on that and trust his plan if I trust him, because I can't, that could turn him off even though it wouldn't, um because he has a good sense of character and he knows me. So but it could look, he could look at it and say, well, dang, I'm doing every possible thing, because I mean, have I had every possible message I can have? Yes. I mean, yeah, honestly, I have. I've had rings. I've had, in California, I had rings put, a ring put in the window. I had, I used to have roses put on the street. I used to get flowers. I used to get rings. I used to get messages at the top of my phone. I bet he probably said, no, wait a minute, I didn't do that one. well, so that I've gotten a lot of messages, over time. And so I don't think it's one message that I haven't gotten. Um, I try not to look at them anymore because I didn't want to feel crazy. Um, and that's weird because I take every bad message. In fact, they used to tell me all the time, you read everything. Well, I have to. I have to. Trust me, and I connect it all too. You know, so I have to do it that way. It's just the way that I like to work. I don't like to weed anything out. And so it's easier for me that way. And so, but when it comes down to good stuff, I'm just, I be connecting the bad first because I have to analyze everything. And I shouldn't do that. It's definitely annoying. It's not the best. It's not something I'm proud of, but it is what it is. So when it comes down to this, um, I have, I've gotten rings, um, I've gotten houses, um, I've got a real gorgeous, like real, it's something I said that was green. And then I opened my phone to YouTube and it was just like the most elaborate house I probably had ever seen. And it was in California. So it's kind of like what makes me think my life is just supposed to be there. And I probably should have never come back to Georgia. And I think about going back to California all the time, um, because I just know that my life is there. Like I cannot wait. I cannot wait to go back there and just get started in my life and be with him, and and tell him all of these, things that I have to limit myself with saying, and I won't have to do that anymore. I can't wait to say, babe, did you know that such and such and such and such and such, and this is what I think about this. Do you think that too? You know, and I can't wait to do that, like to have those kind of conversations with him, and to, you know, be green every day and wake up just inspired and just happy and just, naked every day, just naked for no reason. He just come home and not never have no clothes on, just naked, just titties out, everything, just naked. Just can't wait. Just be sitting on the counter reading, like it's okay. Like I can't wait to just be. I'm miserable. I've been miserable for so long, and so like all these years that have gone by, that I've just been miserable, and so I just can't wait to get up and just be with somebody every day, and just somebody that makes me happy, and that I'm happy with. That is I get to love him. It's a treat to love him. Like he is everything. And though I want all of this stuff, if he was to say, I really just want something simple. I got a priest downstairs. I know him, and I want him to marry us, and we're gonna do it right here in this room. I would say, cool. And I would not think anything else about it. Like whatever he said, I would trust his judgment. And so I kind of feel like, well, that means you have to start being submissive right now. Because if you really know, as Sarah Jake says, that somebody is there, and you can feel this underneath all of the hoopla, then don't you kind of want to end that better to think about than everything else? Yeah, it is. It is. I just, everything about my life right now is my emotions are, I mean, this is the most humiliating experience that anyone could possibly go through. Like, I don't have one private moment that I'm not seeing ever, 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 ever. Like, somebody sees me 24/7, 7 days a week, 365 days a year. It's embarrassing. I can't wait to laugh at him and say, what all did you see? That's so not right. Get that out of your mind. So he was watching me. I cannot wait to laugh at him or laugh with him about that. But then again, we probably won't, because we'll be talking about stuff in the past, and I don't want to talk about nothing in the past with him. Like, I can't wait to get up and just that first day with him being the first day of the rest of my life. And could I literally see myself doing that with him? Yes. With a regular guy? No. And I can only see myself doing that because I know that he will be able to take care of me mentally and physically. He can know and can sense that was you, something changed. And that's what I think is just so sexy and so attractive, that they are so brilliant that they can know, and your body language and this, and so he'll know, wait, or he'll know where not to take me and what not to do. And I won't have to say it. And I don't have to tell him, oh, this happened on my phone and I don't have to talk about that. Like, I got you in the most secure environment ever. And I can rest. You can go to sleep. You can go to sleep and know that you're okay. Because I'm watching you. You know, I'm still watching you. Ah, so no, I can't wait to just live my life and do all these wonderful things. And when he's gone, I have something to do. Then he'll give me private security, and then I'll go. But I definitely still want to like have security like with me every day, every day. I just plan on having that much money because I plan on doing so many different things. So, and I want to go like literally all 50 states and just go to sleep and dream about whatever God say or visit. And then if he talks to me awake, he talks to me awake. But I'll get direction. And so, oh, honey, God wants me to go to North Carolina. What are you going there for? Don't know. That's where he said to go next. We'll be going there. All right, let's go. And then we'll go and I'll spend some time in the environment. Or, well, going over and over to Detroit. What are we doing there? Care plan, meeting with the mayor. And I got some checks and I'm going to pass out this and this is what we're going to build and this, and so I can't wait to do that. I can't wait to be that and to do all that kind of stuff and for him to, you know, me to sit on his lap and look into his eyes and just say all of the stuff that I don't know. I think I would cry like for a long time, like to really like be in the arms of somebody and know that I'm safe and know that it's over, like over, like for real, like it's over, like over, like I'm about to cry now. I would totally cry, like totally, like he would be my hero every day. Can't believe I'm really crying about it. Every day I would get up and he would be like, "What do you want? Like, what in the world do you want me to do?" Because, like, what? I would do whatever you said. Like, to get up every day and and have freedom and like peace and be safe and have my life back. And you did that. I would be the happiest person in the entire world for no reason. Just to get up next to him every day would be such a treat. That would be just like everything. And so, like, even this, I want to be like in my movie, like in the credits when it's like rolling up and I'm just sitting there and I'm talking about him and they're showing different pictures of us together in our wedding and us kissing and stuff. And then I say, um, this, they show me sitting on the bed talking. And I say, how I felt about it. And that like he is such like a hero. Like he's like it's so many different characters that he's like Batman. He's Batman. It used to be Superman, but he's Batman. And so it's funny because these people be using Marvel characters, and he's Batman, and I'm Wonder Woman. That's so cute. I think for even though I don't celebrate Halloween, but one Halloween it'll be cute for us to get dressed, and he's Batman and I'm Superwoman, and we will know what that means, that I saved her. Like, I can't wait to cry and tell him, um, thank you, man. Like, I can't wait to cry and for all of the stuff that I didn't get to say. Like like all the stuff that I really, really wanted to say. Like, even though I'm so transparent on these videos and I say everything, it's it's so much I don't say because I just don't want the retaliation. So it's so much that I just don't say. And he just, I just can't wait to just say, I'm so grateful that God put you in my path to be everything in the natural that I could have needed. And that I'm so grateful that you took an interest in me. That is such a treat. And the treat is not in anything material that he could buy. He could give me a rubber band as a ring and I would take it. The fact that someone like him could be interested in me, and it's real, and it's a miracle, and it came from such an ugly situation. Yeah, it's nothing short of God. And if I do look at it like that, does it make it easier to just be quiet and wait on him? Yes. Is it still hard? Absolutely. You know, I think about it enough. You know, when I see stuff, I fantasize about him just saying, get in the truck. And I'm like, for real, I can go. Like in California. I used to just be like, I just hate this situation so much. But I do have faith. And just because I might fall into, building, I think the building too, though, really is good in a way, because especially when I build for my culture and when I want to build and help Black people, I can't possibly just go with him, even though it would be the best decision I could ever make. I can't just say I'll marry you and then I'll let this whole thing just go to waste. I can't fathom that. It is still African American people in prison that need me. My son needs me. My nephews need me. I have to advocate for justice so that they can be free and so that they can have a fair shot at life. And I have to create that. I have to link that in the system for all of these Black people that are mentally and physically incarcerated. I have to fix that. Like, that's my job. That's my role. That's my purpose. Like, I have to make sure that I use the brain that God has given me to make resources in my culture, that I have to make sure that we're treated fairly in finance, in that huge uncharted world, that we have loans and that we're really, really getting a fair shot. I have to make sure that. And so one thing that he says about me is that I'm brave. And I don't think I'm brave. I just think that I'm doing the next right thing. I don't think of myself as courageous. I just think of, but wouldn't you? Like, wouldn't anybody be me? Like, if like, wouldn't you do this? Like, I don't think it's being brave or being courageous. I think you just do what you know in your heart to do. And if that's right or talk or fight, whatever it is, you just do what is right if you believe in it in your heart, and you don't think about the consequences because you're just doing what's right in your heart, what God has put in your heart. And this has been in my heart ever since I was a child. I mean, I say it all the time. When I was a child, my grandma lived at 1534 Twig Street. I'll never forget it. And I just said, I don't understand why she lives here. And we live in that huge brand new house on, I just did not understand. So from that point to this one, I just want to um tap into those feelings. I never talk about them anymore. Um, it used to be a problem, and I didn't want to cause a problem, so I wouldn't say anything. And then I used to get retaliation, and I didn't want it. I didn't want to make the situation worse than it already is. So I wouldn't, that's another reason that I just didn't say anything. But the good thing would be just like I ever knew that I knew I would just, it could be something bad, a message, but it would always be if I looked for him, I would see him. Would I look for him? Most of the times, no. I'm not gonna lie, I look for the bad. I look for where are my threats? Who's around me? And so it wasn't that I was crazy or slow. I just focused on where are my threats coming from so that I could analyze what my movements are like, or I would know what's really going on. But if I looked and looked for my messages for somebody that loved me, or looked for um, where he was, can I see him just as much as I see everything else? Yes. Is that at this moment? Yes. If I go to the store, will there more than likely be a message there? hmm And the same way, would it a message about somebody wanting to kill me? Absolutely. Might be on the same line. Uh, so it just depends. Um, but I've been so open with this because it was therapy for me. It was therapeutic when I lived in the truck to record myself talking to my cameras. Now it's almost heartbreaking that some of my videos are, I'm still waiting on Facebook to download my videos. I don't know what is taking so long. Is it thousands of videos? Yes. Um, I don't even get memories of me sleeping like this time in 2023, March the 20th, I was at the House of Horrors. So if I was to go see a memory, I see scattered memories. I don't see where the camera is on all night and me sleep, when that very well happened because I know I recorded them. Just like I'm on live right now. I am never not on live and on Facebook at night. I have not been on Facebook Live at night for years. For years. Since 2020. I have been sleeping on Facebook Live for 5 years. And not ever is that a memory where that 8 hour video is played or is available. If I was to go to memories right now, it's not there. So why, when this video is recording right now on Facebook Live, why isn't it going to be a memory next year? It's not right. So that I feel some kind of way about that. but that's why I go to YouTube. Um, at the same time, I feel like I just I heard a message this morning, and it rang to me, and I just felt good. It was Steve Furtick, um, when God says stop, and I heard Kim Kardashian say tonight, if you build it, he'll come. I was already, I'm not saying anything tonight because I don't like stuff to be said, oh, she did that because this is, that probably made me talk about this, or prompted me to talk about this, but it's nothing that I'm saying here that I have not already written down. Nothing. All the way down to the way that I want my wedding to be. All the way to how I said I want him to propose. I want him to propose on my phone. It's weird. It's weird. And I say that because, like, I know he'll have to say it in person, but the reason being is because that phone has been the worst thing in my entire life, ever. And the phone is worse than my mama dying. It's a pain that renews itself every day. Every day I get up and look at it. I hate it. It's the most evil thing on the entire market that's sold worldwide, the cell phone. It is the most evil thing ever created. That's my opinion. Yes, it does have, we need it. But the technology is not structured for the capabilities surrounding it. They're not, how can your problems be here and your advantages are here? All you got to your advantages is you can send email, call, and text, keep in contact. But look at all the other things that you could do, the cons. It's the worst thing ever in life. To me, I hate it. So I want, if he was to say, you know, ask me to marry him on the phone, it would take away that thought that I would look at it and be like, every time I look at this, he asked me on the phone. It's so cute. And the way he did it. Because they're like so brilliant when it comes down to haptics. And it's not one haptic I've ever seen on the phone that can bring me as much joy and as bring me, they can do something on the phone that make you drop the thing, not want to look at it no more. And they can equally send a message that just, and they're not touching you. And that's how I came up with the advancement of social media and the TV and touching a person through the phone. And I can't wait for for that technology to manifest itself, because it's already there, because you can link emotions um, and medical data through the cell phone. And that's how I came up with, well, if you can do that, naturally speaking, duh, what everybody know, then you can take blood pressure, uh, blood pressure, vitals, blood, everything else. Why? Because of the way the technology is built and set up and how the human responds to the robot, aka artificial intelligence. So understanding that, if you can you can look at your phone and say, "Ooh," and then you can look at your phone and say, "Oh my God." So those emotions, the rise and fall, is what I chose to channel and link and say, okay, so then if you could feel this way, then okay, what all can you do with that? What all can you do with that technology? Could do so much with it when it comes down to mental health and then medical. Like I can literally see, your medical devices coming in the mail, and you're sending samples in uh, on your tablet, and then you can do certain things from the TV, and you could and weigh yourself, and send all that data is going to your doctor, and it's who's actually in the next 3 years, who is actually getting in their car going to a doctor visit? Who? Why are we doing that? You don't have to do that unless you are pretty much told to report, because what's gonna happen is science is going to be that that median between the patient and the doctor. So you have the patient, science. So your first point of contact is science, and the doctor is just waiting to get the data. So even your testing, you don't have the equipment to test at home. You'll go to a testing center, but you won't be, or your doctor's, wherever he is set up. But the way, it's going right now that's not where it's going to be, because of the ability that artificial intelligence has. And so I was able to link medical and mental health with that, from being able to have certain procedures done to help people with post traumatic stress disorder, depression, stuff like that. That's a chemical um, imbalance of the brain in some sort, um, like serotonin levels linked to depression and that sort of thing. So being able to mechanically adjust that, you know, I've always, said that it's kind of along one of my theories of going green. What does that really mean in terms of mental health? Well, I believe that it's not going to be too many illnesses that we cannot fix in the next couple of years. And when it comes down to mental health, I think mental health is just going to be like, seriously, going to be have the most um, methods that are advantageous to us, and medical science will follow, because like I said, I've already seen like the heart transplants, um, organ donors, um,